Anochan, we are here for the premiere of her brand new song. I am super excited about this. In case you didn't already know, I've been kind of quite a strong supporter of Ano's for, quite a while now, actually. I remember when I first heard her music, I was just kind of really taken in by the charm and everything, but it's amazing here in Japan how much of a cultural impact she's had as well. She's got like so many TV programs she's involved with. Like I got the merch from her TV show. Thank you very much for James for sending that to me. We've got things like she was playing a part in the live action Oshinoko. She's had such a massive footprint, and a lot of that comes down to the wonderful personality she has, which is obviously very inspiring to a lot of people. She's able to both be quite cute and fun and a bit of an idol, but also she has that depth, that kind of slightly more punky aspect that we've seen from projects like her punk band Eyes, which unfortunately is no longer active, but she's a musician as well. She writes these really interesting lyrics as well. We got an advert now. I'm going to skip over this advert. It's someone's official music video being advertised to me. You can tell YouTube knows a lot about me, right? Anyway, but so anyway, I love her music though. This is one of the things I've really enjoyed her music. That first couple of releases from her first couple of albums were absolutely fantastic. Now since then, since her debut album, we've had a few songs being released, and they have been great. But I gotta be honest, so the first one that came out, I enjoyed it, but it didn't quite grab me as much as some of her classics. Like, okay, this is very much in the vein of what we like about Ano, but it's not like one that I've come back to and re-listened a huge amount since. Then her most recent single, I gotta be honest, which was like There's Only Two of Us in the World. I actually really liked that one, but still not quite on the heights of that first album. Now, everything I've seen for the trailers of this new song that's about to debut in a minute, well, the song's already debuted, but I've avoided listening to the audio so I could take it in with the video. Everything about this, it looks like it's going to be all of the craziness that we love from Ano. I love sort of deep stuff like Delete. I love those kind of cuts, but there's something about the crazy side of Ano's music that, it's exciting. It's exciting because it's a bit of an event. She's the only person who I think can do it quite the way she does. She's kind of really crafted an identity in that area. So I am excited for this because I'm hoping to get something, well, really... I haven't really heard a song by Ano yet that I didn't like. There's some which I come back to a lot. There's some that I come back to much more rarely. But I'm hoping to get another one of these Ano classics, and everything about the aesthetic of like that cover art especially... It looks like it's going to be really exciting. So anyway, let's jump in. It's about to premiere. I've got to turn the audio on so you can hear it. I've got to turn the audio on so I can hear it. All right. Let's go. Okay. Sci-fi Ano straight away. Not rated. Dramatic! Let's go. Loving that grungy sound. Ooh. That's funky. Loving the whole sound of it. That kind of lo-fi chiptone production. And the aesthetic of the video is incredible. So playful. We still haven't had a chorus yet. Still building up. Alright, let's go. Oh, I love that chord change there. That first chord is nice. the callbacks to previous videos as well, once again. That's a real, like the production, the chorus is great, but it's so crazy. It's got... Why not? Oh, I like that, really. That's clever. Again, so many ideas and the build-up. Oh, double time! That chorus is really gonna... Yeah, it's gonna stick with it. This is so gloriously full of awesome stuff. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Hello, how are you doing on this Monday afternoon? On a clear day like this, put down your smartphone and look up at the sky. People who always look down and swallow baseless information and criticize everything have the same brain as a child under the age of 3. Thank you for listening to our program, hosted by Mrs. Brain. I'm looking forward to your comments and letters.
Loving like what's with the weird Australian like announcer in the background there. I will say though that the thing that she's reading out is exactly the same thing as written on. If you've seen the cover art for this, it's like a package of like a toy package, and it's got a small warning label which says exactly what that voice is saying right there. That was amazing. That was so cool. Is it just blank from that point? Okay, it's blank from that point. Okay, that was so cool. And there's so much to go through here. I've often said before, love the facial expression. I've often said before that with a lot of Ano's songs, or with a lot of any songs that are really good, there's a lot to unpack, that old expression. I don't think I can remember the last time I heard a song and saw a video where there was as much to unpack as we've got going on here. Now, I'm going to say, first of all, the production, what it immediately reminds me of is it reminds me of Magical Destroyers by Aimi. And I'm just bringing that up quickly because I seem to remember seeing the producer's name in the credits before. I don't know if it's the same producer, but I might want to have to look that up because it really reminds me of the production of that. And I think that was also, was that also the guy who was in Mad Capsule Markets, maybe? Anyway, I might be totally off base on that, but it reminds me of that style of production. But wow, so much to go through here. Now, let's just tick off the things first of all, because I'm going to try and be honest, and like, we're always honest on this channel, try not to kiss ass, and go try and maybe critique this if I can, but this has got so many of the things that I both love about Ano, but I just love about Japanese music and good music as a general. So I'm mostly just going to be talking about how much I love this at this point, because if we just go through the things that this ticks off. 1, is it catchy? Super catchy. Is it creative, like sonically? Super creative. Does it flow well? Very much. Does it avoid repetition? Superbly. Is the video a good match for the song? Perfect. Is the video in itself noticeable, identifiable, and something that you're going to remember as being unique? 100%. And does all of this also feel like it suits the artist who's singing it? Does it feel like it's something that belongs to the artist? Yes. I can't think of any level on which this is not absolutely 100% what I was looking for. I said with the last couple of songs we got that they were great, but they weren't songs that I necessarily, like if I was sitting down going, I want to listen to some Ano today, usually I just listen to the album. But if I'm like picking individual songs, the last couple of songs she's released would probably not be either of my go-tos. This, I think, is going to be right up there. This is going to be one of my top Ano songs already. I can just feel it. So let's break this down. I mean, I've already given you the bullet points of why, but just when we're going through those various things, I mean, first of all, that chorus is superb. I mentioned while it was playing that the third chord in particular was a bit of an unexpected step down. It goes from sort of like you start off with a very bright and happy kind of chorus. It's all upbeat, and then it just takes a downward, like bit more doubtful tone, and adding that sort of that switch of chord to a chord that adds a little bit more doubt. It adds a bit more emotional depth. You know, it's not just one of those choruses where it's like just go catchy earworm. It's like you feel a bit of emotional depth because of the way that the chord pattern develops, which is nice, but it makes it a more memorable chorus, and it is a melodic, catchy, memorable chorus. When we talk about the flow of the song and not being repetitive, yeah, it does that brilliantly. It starts off very chaotically, and a lot of this is also tied in with the production, but it kind of builds up the melody nicely into the chorus. You have that very long pre-chorus in the first chorus where it builds up, and then after the first chorus, basically everything between that first chorus and the last chorus, because it's effectively only two choruses in the song, is it just kind of like going EDM and then building up and building up and building up again. It's like it's just basically does two big ramps up to both choruses, but both times feeling totally different. You know, one like a verse, one more like an EDM drop, and then a big dramatic build up. It avoids repetition so well, and as I mentioned, a lot of that also comes into the production. Production also helps it avoid repetition by having all these really cool, crazy sonic ideas, you know, starting very lo-fi and then adding those chiptune elements to keep it sounding a little bit more old school, but, you know, start to flesh out the sound, give it a little bit more sonic depth, and then more things come in. Then when you get to that chorus, it's keeping a little bit of that grungy kind of video game, old school video game music vibe, but you get that little bit of guitar, a little bit more of a rock feeling, and the beat starts to settle into more of a steady sort of headbanging rhythm, which is great. And even in the last chorus, it decides to play a little bit of a variation on that by going double time in the last chorus. You know, it feels like the song is full of ideas and it just can't stop delivering them. But every time it delivers an idea, it flows on beautifully from the last one. This is, in that aspect, just perfect. Again, love the way that Ano's voice is used. It feels like it's the kind of song that works for her. Ano's a sort of singer. You get some singers like Adore, where I say Adore, she's got this sort of big, powerful voice, and a lot of the songs are based around her voice. So a lot of the time when you hear an Adore song, the best ones are the ones where the arrangement can kind of sit in the background and allow her to do all the work. With Ano's voice, it's like, so with songs like this, it's not that she's got like a big, powerful voice, it's that she's got a lot of character. So if anything, you kind of want to give her a very involved production that she can play around with. You know, she can do sort of lots of rhythmic things. She can add a little bit of personality. You know, she can almost sort of like use her voice to play off the instruments. You know, you can get like a certain cheeky tone in the song, and then she can bounce off of that by having a little bit of a cheeky delivery in her vocals. And again, that works beautifully here. So cool the way that happens in this song. I really love those developments, you know, the way that her voice feels really at home, it works, the craziness matches her personality. But I have to give a shout out to this video. This video is stunning. Now, again, what's so great is that, okay, with exception to the stuff that was done with the animation, nothing here looks outlandishly expensive. It just looks really well filmed. That's the YouTube intro. But so you got these little animation bits. I mean, I don't know much about animation, but I know you have to pay animate. It's obviously going to be expensive. But one thing that's interesting is that they got lots of little scenes, like this little reflective bit here, this kind of 1950s sci-fi man from space kind of thing. Very cool, very visually distinctive. And yeah, really, really cool that. I love that bit as well. You've got the bit here, which is performing kind of again in that outfit, but on like the weird sort of plasticine looking set. You've got the bit where, can't find it now, every time like it says I'm about to click on it, there you go, the prediction thing on the YouTube like time bar is always wrong. But you've got the little bit where she's performing in the tiny room, which I think is really cool, that bit as well. You know, again, this is really visually distinctive. You've got the spaceship bit. It's just there's so many little individual scenes that it bounces between, and each one is very visually distinctive and jumps off the screen. And again, kind of like the song, the scenes you're seeing are super involved. There's a lot of things to get your eyes into, but the reason they work is because at the center you've got Anna, and Anna, her personality makes everything around it come alive. And I think that's true in the way that her voice is the center of this song and the way that her face is the center of this video. You know, all of this craziness is brilliant because it's a perfect setting for someone like Anna, but it works because she's at the center, kind of humanizing it all and playing off of it just with her sound, with her personality. It's a brilliant, it just matches. Everything about this works. It works superbly. If I were to critique it at all, I would say that I think the problem is that everything about this song that works for me, just putting that back, everything about this song that works for me is also the kind of in that area where, and I feel this might be true for a Venn diagram of like Anochan fans, everything about this works for me is probably very much in that part of music I like, which is the crazy, quirky, throwing stuff at you, a million things a second. I like that kind of thing. I think for some people, there are going to be some people for whom this might be too messy, might be too chaotic, it might feel like it isn't grounded enough. I like the chorus comes back and is very catchy, and I like that both choruses are different, but some people might find it a bit jarring that the chorus doesn't quite settle down enough, that it stays a little bit berserk even in the chorus. So I can understand some people not gelling as well with this, but I must say that as someone who I feel, and I often say this when I'm doing a review, do I feel like I am the target audience for this song? And sometimes I'll really like and appreciate a song, but I'll go, I can tell it's good, but it's clearly good for someone else. This is for me. I am the target audience for this kind of, because this is exactly the kind of madness that I like in a pop song. And this is the kind of music that really attracted me to what Anno does in the first place. This kind of like craziness, but this well gelled together kind of craziness. So, if it isn't for you, I can just say as someone who I feel like this song is 100% to my tastes, if you are the target audience for this song is spot on. Anyway, I just adored this. I thought this was fucking brilliant. I am so glad as well that I put off listening to the song, because this is a first listen to what I think will probably end up being one of my favourite songs by one of my favourite artists. So I'm really glad I got to share this first listen with you. And I got to stop this video because I got this song stuck in my head and I just want to go back and listen to it again. This was incredible. I absolutely loved it. So thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I hope that my excited rant was at least good. I know sometimes when I'm too excited about a song that sometimes my points go a little bit off on tangents and everything. So I hope this was easy to follow. But yeah, just brilliant. I got to go listen to this again now. So enjoy it. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.